Let's talk about June 15th, what to expect and what to do. Hi, my name is Zara Hoxie. I am a recently graduated high school student who is signed to play Division I volleyball at the College of William & Mary this fall 2024. And I leave in 18 days, so that's pretty soon. I played 4 years on varsity at my high school, and I also played 4 years at Tribe Volleyball Club. It's June 11th, and June 15th is right around the corner, so I wanted to talk about some tips and tricks to help you prepare and handle June 15th. Something that my club focuses a lot on is our recruiting and getting our players to play the highest level of college volleyball that they can, whether that's Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, or JUCO. My director focuses on getting families a return on their investment into Tribe by getting them as high level scholarships as possible. My first tip is to really just enjoy this process and this journey. A lot can happen, whether it's what you expect or not, but kind of just have fun with it. Get to know these people, these coaches. When you go on visits, get to know the girls on the team and really just have fun with it, because you only really get to do this once, unless you want to play for a grad year and you end up in the portal. You get to connect with other coaches, but you really only get this opportunity once in your life, and it's great because it'll teach you and prepare you for applying for and interviewing for jobs in the future. My second tip is to be prepared. A lot of times we send emails to college coaches to showcase our latest highlight reel, reflect on our past tournament, or simply just get ourselves out there. You're going to want to do the same thing for June 15th, but you're going to treat it like it's any other email. You're going to reflect on your last tournament, showcase your latest highlight reel, but you're also going to mention how you're super excited for June 15th and all the opportunities that it could bring you. This will show coaches that you're interested in talking to them and get you either on their radar or somewhere on their list. Coaches want someone who wants them as much as they want you, and that's really important. So make sure you get your emails out. The next thing is to know your facts. Something that happened with me is I didn't fully know my facts on one college, and I happened to be driving through their state while on a phone call with them, not knowing that that's the state they were in, and it led to a pretty awkward moment. So know your facts. What state they're in, their mascot, their team colors, their coaches, anything that might be important, even if it's small like that, know it and put it somewhere that you'll remember it. That leads me to my next thing. Prepare questions, and you can do this on a OneNote file or a Teams file and share it with a family member, parent, sibling, or friend who can also keep track of them. And if you have them take notes, which is later on in this video, that can also be taken on a OneNote or a Teams page. If you prepare questions, there's a period of time where the coaches will ask you a lot of interview-like questions to get to know you as a person and as a player, to make sure that you would fit into their program. But you are also given the opportunity to ask questions about culture, team, school, anything that is important to you, to see if their school fits into the criteria that you're looking for. So sit down and take the time to point out what are important things to you in a school and in a program, and then form questions based off of those things. So now all the preparation for June 15th is done and the day has finally arrived. But my first point for actual June 15th is to sleep. You're gonna be super excited. You're gonna get the anticipation of the day being here, and you're gonna wanna stay up all night to see if anyone contacts you at 12 a.m. No. As much as you're gonna wanna do that, you're gonna have a long day ahead of you, and it could be pretty stressful. So what you're gonna do, and what I highly advise doing, is turn off your phone, put it in a different room, give it to a mom, a dad, put it in the kitchen. I don't care what you do, but you're gonna plug it in in a different room, turn it completely off, whatever. And you're gonna go to sleep at a decent time. You're gonna make sure you do your whole nighttime routine, go to bed. If you wanna sleep in, sleep in. Don't worry about setting an alarm. The day's not gonna go away. Obviously, don't sleep until 1 or 2 in the afternoon, but it's gonna be treated like any other normal day. When you turn on your phone, it could be pretty overwhelming. So you're gonna wanna sit down with a family member, whether that's a parent, a sibling, grandparent, whatever, or someone that you trust, like a friend, and start going through the phone calls and the texts that had started. If there isn't anything, that's okay. There will be something. And if there isn't anything in that moment, or you don't get anything June 15th, that's all right also. That's just the way it happened for you. And I know people who didn't get anything June 15th and are signed to play Division 1. So it is different for every person, and you can't let that defeat you or make you upset. It's all God's plan for you, and we just have to know and trust that. So I would advise, when you open your phone, having a notepad, a notebook, or a planner of some sort to keep track of who reached out to you and who wants to schedule a phone call or a Zoom. Also, use that time to prioritize who you want to talk to. I would also advise putting someone that you aren't necessarily looking as highly first, just to get a practice call in. I put one of my top choices as my first call, and I was so nervous. I didn't know what to expect, and I kind of walked away from that phone call questioning why I put them first. So if you get a school that you're interested in courting, but they're not at the top of your list, schedule them to be your first or second phone call of the day. That way you can get a couple under your belt, and then you can start talking to the schools that you are really interested in. That leads me to scheduling. You're gonna wanna have a planner or a notebook so you can schedule out your calls. I would definitely say, if you have a large quantity of people wanting to get on the phone with you, it's your timeline and you decide when you want to have the call. You just have to verify a time with them before you just decide, oh, I'm gonna call them at this time. So find times that work for you and work in increments. What I did is I left an hour in between each call just in case a call went over or a call happened early. That way I would also have time to go to the bathroom, get a snack, get water, do whatever I needed to do in between phone calls without worrying about rushing into the next one. So leave yourself increments of time in between calls that you're scheduling, so that way you have time to yourself also and can take care of yourself, because that's what's most important. Take care of yourself and don't fall into a situation where you're not drinking water or going to the bathroom or eating because you're so worried about college coaches. It's not that deep, I promise. But have a planner and have someone who can help regulate appointments and calls with these coaches, so that way you know when you have calls and who you've already talked to. I would highly advise saving contacts for the coaches that you're talking to in your phone, so that way a random number doesn't pop up and you answer it thinking it's a coach that you're planning to talk to, but it's just a coach that's trying to reach out to you. Because sometimes they'll call without a text or an email, and that's okay. So I would definitely advise having your contacts list with the coach that you're talking to. So say my coach, Ryan Adams, he texts me. I would save his contact in my phone. Something I did is I put the logo as the profile picture, kept it organized so I knew what the school was and who the coach was that was calling me, so I could line that up with my schedule. And that is something that was super helpful, because there were a couple of times where calls weren't going through because I had a couple trying to call me while I was trying to call a coach or while I was on the phone. So I would definitely say save contacts, because it'll keep things way organized and it'll help you not be stressed out about who you're calling. The final thing I touched a little bit on earlier in the video, And I know I said to have fun, but there are moments of stress and anxiety that fall with June 15th, and that's okay. Everyone goes through these moments of emotion, whether it's high, low, good, or bad, and you can't let that determine who you are or how you overcome it. So there are some people who are going to have a ton of attention on June 15th. There are girls who are going to commit the day of, the day after, or things like that, and that could be you or it couldn't be you. And that will not determine where you fall in line with a school, or if a coach is interested in you. If you don't get an offer the first day, that doesn't mean that you're not a good athlete and coaches don't want you. That just means that coaches are taking the time to know you and see if you fit in their program. And that's what happens the majority of the time. So don't think anything of it when you start seeing that girls are committing. If you also don't receive as much attention as you were expecting or as you were hoping on June 15th, don't let that discourage you. I know people who didn't get a ton of attention on June 15th or didn't get any at all and are signed to play Division I volleyball. Just because you may not get a ton of attention or you might get a lot of attention on June 15th doesn't determine if you'll go D1 or D2 or NAIA. Just let God work his plan for you, because he already knows what is going to happen and what your future holds. If you have problems or are struggling with finding peace in that, pray, or you can, if you know me, you can text me, or you can talk to someone in your family that you trust about how you feel. It'll help a ton just to get it off your chest, because there will be a lot of emotions that you're not even going to realize you have bottled up. So have fun with June 15th, and it's okay to have emotions or stresses and anxieties. Everyone's going through it, but people might not be showing it. I hope those tips helped, and I hope this video helps whether you are going through June 15th in 4 days or you still have 2 years. I just wanted to incite some of my wisdom and some of the things that I used and learned on June 15th, because if I have the opportunity to go through it already, I felt like God was using me to help others who have yet to go through it. So thanks for watching, and I'm praying for everyone that has June 15th this year, next year, and years to come.